Good evening, everyone. Can you hear us?
Yes.
Judith, can you hear us? Yes. Okay, great. So let's get started. This is our executive committee meeting for 12. I think it's 7:08 on Monday, October 1st. We're opening up our meeting. Thank you all for being here. We have actually a forum. And today we are going to be discussing item 1. As we all know, we consolidate our committee. And so today the first item on the agenda is our committee. So we're going to select the day. We're going to be selecting the days that each committee is going to be meeting monthly. So before we start,
That me? Do I need to be here?
Yeah, gotcha.
yeah, we're good now? Okay, perfect. Okay. So before we start, Ursula and George, can you tell us again, what are the days that we're not able to, there's certain days that there's certain things happening? I'm only concerned that the lift is happening, and that would still be clear to mold. You only have this available, right?
I would say only Wednesday.
Wednesday is there's 4 months and the third Thursday.
The third Thursday, okay. The third Thursday and Wednesdays are the only days that right at the come. So that means we have Mondays, Tuesdays, first Thursday, second Thursday. Yeah.
Yeah, I just have a couple of meetings and other committees, various community board members have other commitments to other organizations that, enrich.
Right. Can we write that one? What you got there?
Yes, it's a coffee. So, Moses, sorry, it's just Moses is, one of your Moses is that first Tuesday.
So this one is not, can I write on this 2 seconds?
Yeah.
So this one we can, we're saying every Wednesday here is occupied. We said that.
So, follow the point. The second Wednesday of every month is the 47th.
Right, yeah, okay, yeah, that's.
So, theoretically, that day is open because explorers usually go to a particular.
But then we go on our workers.
But let me get that's an available thing. A lot of them.
So we're gonna just exclude all Wednesdays. We're gonna exclude the 4th and that.
The third Tuesday, 4 of us are on the monthly field.
Okay.
So we want to keep that open for us.
No, we're closing it for us. We're talking about right there. So we're closing for us every Wednesday, just to be sure. Because the space here is being used, you don't know whether the conference is going to be back and available for us to use.
And solid waste advisory.
So we're not, yeah, all Wednesdays are blocked. All right, Monday. And you're saying the first Tuesday is.
Yes, patient. Yeah, so some of us attend that, it's not required.
Any other issues, conflicts that everybody knows of that we should follow?
I was just a question. The piece we went back to we voted those two. Is that still the first Tuesday?
Is this like a pretty much in terms of the meeting that you participate in? Not off by your students. Whatever is not separate is what we see to happen. Yeah. So it looks like we have Monday, every Monday. We have Mondays, we have the second Tuesday of the month, the 4th Tuesday of the month, but honestly, we should be having committee meetings for the board meetings. right? So technically, we wanna have the first week, second week, the third week by that Monday.
Yes.
And so,
The suggestion should be that the second week, that gives you enough time.
all that, yeah. Okay, so we have the first Monday, the first Thursday of the month, the second Monday, the second Tuesday, and the second Thursday of the, for that second week. So we should do Tuesdays out, should we just do Tuesdays out?
Right.
And deal with Mondays and Thursdays? Yeah? That's fine. All right, so we're saying Mondays and Thursdays, so we have the first Monday of the month is too much, because we're just coming out of our board meeting, maybe we start the first Thursday of the month, that's for one committee, committee one. Is everybody okay with that, committee one, first Thursday of the month? Okay. Committee one. The second week, that second Monday, we'll keep it to committee two. Everybody's okay with that? Well, we just need 3 days, right? I mean, and the reason that on the executive committee, we'll keep it on the third Monday. We'll keep that one.
What did you say, maybe one is?
So let me post this, land use used to be second Monday of the month. Should we say committee one, we keep it to the second Monday of the month? Yeah? Okay, so then that means that committee two will be that first Thursday of the month. That used to be like environmental, right? Okay, so the first Thursday is committee two, the second Monday is one. And then what do you all think of the second Thursday for committee three? First Thursday is committee number two. And our online, co-chairs, you can chime in. The second Monday, committee one. The second Thursday of the month, committee three.
The third Monday was.
Yes. That remains. Well, it's actually helpful. It's helpful because holidays are typically even for November. You know what I mean? Let's look at December. December, we don't, it's our holiday. Yeah, December is our holiday party, that's how we. Right. And the first one is enjoy the. George, you guys ever come and tell us the date of the holiday party?
Yes, I forget the date.
Let me see, I think I just.
I'm looking at the calendar.
It was a.
It is a Friday, I don't know.
The third.
Yes,
Yeah, you guys sent it for December 20th.
I think the 20th.
When was that?
So, committee two is the first Thursday. Committee three, like the second Thursday. Committee one is the second one.
Yes. So I'd say 10 times.
Yes. And we formalize it, send it out to everybody that has it Friday. We'll revise our calendar, have it. Yeah, the second Thursday of the month is committee three.
And that's it.
And that's it. And then we have everything is done the first part of the month, and then it's time for the meeting to a public hearing. Then if we do a public hearing, maybe you can do that the first. Well, we keep it open, we'll figure it out.
We have to vote on this calendar. Season.
Any questions?
No, I was thinking, it used to be a week. Stop. So CCP meeting was for.
Well, everybody voted here, whatever, maybe, you know, whatever other boards they're on, whatever meetings are happening in the district. So we did it based on other data. Okay, so everybody's good on this, we can take a vote.
So I have one question.
Yeah.
We named it committee.
We're gonna keep it as that for now, we could, but just so that in the interest of us moving forward, starting to have our meetings in November, we wanted to do this. Sound good?
Yeah. Which numbers were we show?
Yes. Sure, right? Right, Jordan?
Yeah.
Friday,
13.
Oh, sorry. A new email with the original one, that right?
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Okay.
Does anybody need clarification of the committee?
Yeah.
Yes. No.
Okay, so committee one, topics of land use, housing, economic development, and business services, transportation and capital projects. Committee two, public safety, parks and rec, environmental concerns. Committee three, health and human services, education and youth services, library and cultural.
We're gonna try and put it up on the board, just for everybody.
Yeah, she's done it this one.
Friday, 20.
It is, right?
Yeah.
I'm sorry, we're gonna just share it on the, that is perfect, yeah, and you can share it.
We need to make you a vote.
No, it's what? Does anybody online have any questions? Colleen? Judith?
Hey, good evening, everybody. Just a quick question because there's echoes and I can barely hear with the feedback. So can you just say what days there are? What are the days of the meetings? Standing committee number one is what day?
That's.
So standing committee number one is the second Monday of the month.
Okay, thank you.
Standing committee two is the first Thursday of the month. Standing committee three is the second Thursday of the month.
So those were basically all the only days that were available, those 3 days?
What was that?
Those 3 days were the only days that were available during the month?
Those are the days that there's no conflict. And so in the interest of staying away from conflicts, we want to keep it to the first 2 weeks so that then we have the third week, fourth week for our meetings.
Gotcha. Okay. Thank you very much.
We did it to WebEx. Sorry guys, we're just trying to share it. Okay, is everybody able to see?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay, so we can right here, set standing committee one, second. Monday. Second Monday. Standing committee two is the first Thursday of the month. And Georgia, so we can upload our calendars and send it out in attachment. Standing committee three, we said it is the second Thursday of the month.
If you want, I can share this stuff. Then,
Yeah.
We're not guys.
I didn't send it out.
I sent it out, but now that we've finalized the dates, just to let everybody has one time. Everybody clear on this? Any questions?
So are we leaving the executive committee as
So,
a
sir, yeah. All right, we can take a vote.
Make a motion
Yes.
to approve the new calendar as mentioned, committee one, second Monday, committee two, first Thursday, committee three, second Thursday. Second.
Okay, so. Second. Do we need to do both? No. Is there anything?
we've done.
Yeah, any names?
Any conflicts of interest?
Well,
All in favor?
All in favor?
You know,
Yeah. Okay. So that is. Yes. One. Okay, so let's move on. Thank you all, that was quick. Second item on the agenda, co-chair structure. Any questions about the structure being discussed the last time? Our hope is for it not to be confusing. We are, let's not do this again, every year, if we come across any issues, there's always room to go back to the drawing board. The way it stands is that the initial chair for each particular committee, the now to co-chairs, as you saw that was delineated in standing committee. I can bring that up again if we need to. But let's say we standing committee one, which is land use, housing, economic development, and transportation. Let's say if it's a housing issue, Robert, you would chair that portion. If it's economic development, Judith would, and so on. Any questions about that? We're all clear? Okay. Moving on to the next item. Next item. Next item. Next item on the agenda, priorities for the year. Georgia, I'm sorry if you go away for, well, that's much action priorities. I wanted to give the co-chairs the opportunity. Are there any priorities that the board should keep in mind when pursuing our priority budget meetings that are coming up?
We've got the section of Wednesday playground that's completely barricaded off with fences. And the park department mows it like it's their lawn, so they keep it locked. And it's a complete waste of space. And I think we're going to try to start pushing the parks department to do something with it, even if it means planting some flowers, planting some trees. So you might see us emails trying to push that forward.
Was that a budget?
We did put it in for participatory budgeting for funding last year. You guys were finalists, but we didn't make it. The Parks Department need funding, you want to have to do it in some certain way. So It is because it requires, some kind of possible tree plantings or maintenance.
So there are maybe that like right?
Yeah, I mean, board would have to, we'd have to have a hearing board, so,
What is it to find like about it?
yeah, it's not even as long, but I think so.
So should we schedule a public hearing so that we all can give an input?
Well, I mean, I think we should be, so like we suggested, we can bring up, I think your committee one, all right, so we can bring it up to two. Committee members should know if that's something that they want to do, they vote on it. We can then have a public meeting, send this to the public,
Yeah.
say these are our priorities, shoot a message, add anything else. If the public at large reads us or not, then we take it, another conversation. And then, vote on the community board. And then just make it.
So I
I'm sorry, the only other thing we do,
want it.
yeah,
So I think that we should come up with a date of when we want to do a public hearing. Because if it's typically the end of October, you ask me to give us a date.
We say the last in November, the committee, the second or third committee will have met by November 14th.
well, so just working backwards.
Yeah.
That's getting okay.
I would like to see yours.
If we want, like, is that the first time we meet?
Yes.
That might be, we might want to wait till December, or we want to accelerate.
I'm just worried about deadlines. And it being official versus. Doesn't matter.
No, I mean, we tried, but, the submissions that we made. There's some, I don't know, there's some boys that don't participate, there's some boys that are really good at it. It really, I think for us, and for me personally, my submission of the things that we submit, it's the response that we get from the agency that we're really looking for, because they'll either say, yes, we can do this, no, we'll ask us for money, or something to that effect, or they don't, whatever. That it just lets you know how, where the agency is, then you go from there. So, I mean, there is a timeline that the agency can get back to us, but I feel like we have time to get by the way. It's not for 5 years, well, 6 years. We're already.
Okay.
It's not an indefinite time.
So we have a little time.
Figure it out.
Okay. So
Is it okay for our next committee to take out some budget?
You should start, same with the other committees, should start discussing it coming in November. So that if we have any outstanding questions or issues, then the work needs to do any follow-up for us or whatever. We have some time so that we can, by December, we have our public hearing, maybe the first week or so of the holiday season, and then Georgia. So,
And not another participatory budget, it's getting together for Thursday. Maybe. But you go she's going to come, but she's going to be inclusive with me as well.
and who did you talk about?
License.
Well, leave it at that. Oh, they're saying they can't hear?
Yeah, I believe this back on.
Can you hear now, Sheila, when you speak up?
Possibly so. It's very hard to hear. And I just got a message from Deborah Walker, the same thing, that she can't hear. I mean, if it's possible.
Okay.
Thank you.
And so that'll give you co-chairs the opportunity to speak to your committee members, come up with your list of priorities and present it to your public hearing. Sounds good? So that's the plan for item 3. Item 4, it goes with the same needs assessments and requests, or just clarify the process. Moving on to item number 5. Any questions? Moving on to item number 5, grant applications. This is again the presentation that we had in September. We have a few board members that would like to tackle this application. That is the 75,000 one that which was not that difficult, not a big one. So the crew is Ariel, Luke, Etonia, and Kartika that are going to take a jab at it for the grant writing. And we do have 5,000 that we can use towards that, but let's start with the non-specific one, and then we'll be from there. Okay, but let's keep that being that you have to have a conversation. Okay. Any questions about that? No. Okay, moving on. Moving on to item number 5, new business. Any matters that our co-chairs want to bring up?
You must. They can hear us. We can hear you. Yeah, no.
No,
No, because then they don't hear us.
Monday's off.
I didn't want to ask. Are there trucks will be here in the region?
No,
I know they were gone. I heard someone mention they're back as of this week, and I didn't know this.
No, what has been happening is you will see 1 or 2 trucks on a Saturday or something, but then by Sunday, they're gone. So there's no trucks on the near that.
Great.
Georgia, I mentioned, maybe looking at bike lane on the area of the bridge, just to kind of nip that in the bud before they come back.
That would be
Yeah.
a good thing to do.
But for a number of truck parking and problems throughout the whole district, there was a request from both sanitation for West Stratton, there was a request for 47 precinct area, the street safety so that they could lessen, I guess, truck parks. So like West Stratton, the request would be putting in either a median. Request for Gary was actually request for the 2-point bridge. I think there's a bridge there as well, with bike lanes. Things of that nature. Again, you have to have conversations as a community board to figure out that.
we have to have this, but only the ones to the section.
Say
Destination, the 23rd section, by destination of Shubin. We have, what we go across, does it connect to the trade? So I have to be right. Why do you to city? Your city, that's nothing. It's not. Yeah, no, I'm saying that's close. The bigger city right there. But we don't, I'm saying it's not a lot. It goes there. That's what they want. The next bike lane right there. And then the bike lane goes all the way down. Something it's. Because I know what they picked it up.
But there's no trucks on
Guys,
241st.
one mic.
You don't ever have to worry about any trucks being here.
Guys, one mic.
So, I'm a community employee, not saying this in my official capacity, but I have in my personal capacity thought that the Clean Avenue would make a great place for a bike lane. It's a commercial destination, got a lot of great restaurants. And, if the community board wanted to, if you wanted to suggest to the youngers, hey, you know, you might want to consider expanding kind of like.
But I can make that transition take the game to the Bronx River. And it would be for us to take a pipeline, go over the Bronx River.
And there's a two-way protected bike lane right here, so that in itself is a destination. If you have somebody living on Carpenter Street and they want to get to, you know, this nice bike lane, that interrate connection would help them out. Because
Well, look, we can speak, we have a tour with, the Bronx Alliance about extending the bike lane. Well, the path. I mean, burden, that it falls apart.
yeah, so the Bronx River Greenway extends, you know, up from Webster into Westchester, and because Bronx River Road, a lot of advocates have been, you know, this is Yonkers, but a lot of advocates have been saying, hey, you should put a bike lane here, extending the Webster Avenue bike lane, so that people can get to all these parts along the Bronx River. You know, on Sundays in the summer, they have the Bronx River Bike, the Bronx River Parkway thing. You see a lot of people biking on here. But yeah, it's a great road to do it, because it's kind of smooth and.
I'm just saying, if you don't have a destination, you have to sign us. So, it's the one across.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, this is something that, you know, George brought up a good point. Muskrat Cove, which starts right under at the right over here at the Woodlawn Rain Station. This is nice. I don't know if anybody's trail, but then it dead ends. And it dead ends right here across from the new Wakefield Village development. And I think that if we want the Wakefield development to do anything, they should consider it. Now, it's a bureaucratic nightmare, but they should consider putting a pedestrian bridge here to connect to that Muskrat Cove. That would bring circulation, Muskrat Cove. If you've ever been down there, it's, you know, you get scared because you don't know who's down here, you know, people maybe using drugs and stuff. So if there were connections and exits,
No.
it would be a good.
Where does the south come from?
It ends in Bagwater Park. And
So it doesn't come from.
no,
What's Muscat Road? What are you?
Muskrat Cove
What
is
Oh, where's
this park.
It's far.
It's right at,
John, you know where the old friend is to the Boston Park, the east of their street, which.
Yeah. Oh, okay.
That ran that little park.
Okay. I got you.
You connect to that.
you know, the one other way to access the South County Trail is to go over the weekend. So there's no negatives. See what you have.
So you guys can bring it up in committee. You'll
Yeah, I mean, I'd like to see DOT get study what's possible.
you'll jot that down. And then there's other studies.
We're waiting for the street studies.
Yeah, George? Sorry. Last year, before we wrapped up, there was some studies that we had requested from DOT. If we can get the results for those, if they done yet. There was some school, there was.
To talk about the one in Boston, over the valley.
This dire and was, but it goes to.
Changes to another project.
There was the hospital,
Hospital.
and then there was the one, that I had mentioned from Glen Hill and comments. It's a tiny road, there's an accident there, it's like a two-way street. Oh,
Computer. That's the block.
Right there.
After,
It's right there.
it was, it's filled with drugs.
So why don't you come up with some quick meeting study? All right, and then in committee, you guys will bring it up, and then we'll ask the result of the others.
What you have to do, what you have to do is remove registration from the car, space, this, essentially you have a parking space for the next year. And it's crazy, because the event told, we're not doing on the street because I'm from Alberta. They didn't research that, so the guy, it was the tow down to 233rd, and the cars are just there. Thus,
Well, the farmer's station here at our full board meeting presenting, questions ready, I think, he's back Thursday.
okay, let's get the way to bring back. So is there. Alright, give you an example. And immaculate in the
You'll bring it up.
the lighting is straightforward. The Hasty is supposed to be a license plate reader in that area. Try to offset some.
So I don't want to hold you guys any longer because we're wrapping up, but can you make sure that John has that in front of him so that he can bring it up when DSN wise they're presenting?
Probably because of fun. It can be creative. So this lighting, yes. Lighting is best.
In that area or in general?
Holiday Avenue.
Oh, that's famous.
Holiday Avenue, going to the jets are coming around to beat you with.
Because this, the church here, they don't maintain the end of the sidewalk.
We did it with the tree.
That needs to bring
Must have happened. Ordered that, but I know this.
But where that new building is, Collins and Gun Hill, when you
Yes.
turn,
Yeah, right
it's
here.
dangerous.
Yes, because we got
Right.
it. It needs to be one way.
Not the way, right?
It doesn't need to be.
So we got many of stuff there. You mentioned it last year. Okay, any other matters? Yeah.
Bronx, Boulevard, Grant Boulevard, to the everyone towards, Main, it's sort of like 13 people. I don't know, I mean, I know that we. Big mother parties? Yeah, one from. Yeah, street. I mean, it's good, but. I think that's a state road, I think. I mean, it's not a road, it's two. How is it?
We didn't know anything else was.
Yeah, I know. No, it's big parking.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, sure.
No, not the service, big parking.
Yeah,
The service road on the other side. You're talking about the service road on the side. Yeah, big parking has speed bumps.
Sure.
Yeah, and they're big speed.
Yeah, and they only have homes.
So that's the gas
Yeah,
station,
no,
that's street, that one of parking's all the way that connects to McLean.
It's not a problem.
I think it is.
Yeah, there's buses at the top. Yeah, I don't think that buses don't go up and down Van Gogh Park. Buses go to Dakota and then go down and turn. I'm just here. You don't know about this.
We do not.
I think it's the same road.
Yeah. Again, that's on the spot. So like, any New Yorkers can make road speed bumps, and that's investigated by DOT. They feel that it's appropriate, it doesn't, there's certain metrics that have to be met. And if those are all met, then it's approved and then it gets done. So the only reason we need all that is because people complain to us that they requested a speed bump and one was not. And they want to know why.
I just to add,
People been complaining that it was racing last week. But who put the bumps without letting us know? That's what I don't know.
How do we figure that out?
well, just as George was saying, on from near Reed Avenue and Bronx Boulevard, to 241st, to 240th, right? In that area, I have requested speed bumps for people in that block 2 years ago. They did a study, they said they couldn't do it because the metrics means that if someone is speeding, they can go directly into someone's house. So they said that's why it didn't fit. But however, 8 months ago, one was put on that same strip near close to 240th. So people came to me and said, you said we couldn't do it, but now we got one. We want one at the beginning of the block. No.
See, a couple of things you gotta pay attention to. Drainage. If you put a speed bump in the wrong place, it'll stop the drainage from going. We have drainage, right? And then there's a school, also snowplow, ways.
It can't be 150 feet of an intersection.
Now, what it's saying, in one of the instances, this was a project I was working years ago in the city. When you have a speed bump, car becomes a projectile.
That's what they said.
And they don't wash it. Because, I mean, a typical example, so you guys maybe service, they didn't strike it. People were coming out of the block, flying so hard with these fast cars. But when they hit the speed bump, they would turn it on and slap off the guy in it. I was like, oh my God. Yeah.
I brought it to a
So how we request a walkthrough?
See, why they say this, nobody knew that they not involved in no practice, right? Because that's one of the things. So.
No, but I don't know what the solution, can we request a walkthrough, or would that be with
State Department of Transportation.
Department of Transportation is the one.
DOT?
State.
What you're saying is that, that's, I told this guy, no, not something like that. No,
that's
usually Wi-Fi. So when I go to it, what I'm saying is, well, like my nose,
That's not gonna be it.
it's not good. So it's not, you can't really tell that it's there.
And why is it there?
That somebody
Complain for people to slow down, and that's probably why
But
they
you have to put it in the way that you see. If you go back to there.
No, I hear you. They're supposed to have writings.
Brand new, they might have to still put in the paint. You know, if it's that new, they put the asphalt down, let it cure for a week.
They should have some cones, but they should have some cones.
Yeah, it's
Right, that's the right speed bump. The last thing, George, you said that it has to be a certain feet away from the intersection. However, on Neary and Bronx Boulevard, right at the corner, I'm not complaining. There's a huge speed bump there. Exactly, yeah, and it's huge, it's big. I'm not, because people speed all, so slow down, but it's huge. That's the biggest one I see.
I'm just saying that would be a way to, because that's a new thing that BxCB is doing now as well.
A raised cross, okay, I'm gonna look at it.
As a raised.
And that is huge.
Manchester, where Regis nursing home is.
Yeah, but that's.
But entrance to highways, but I mean, my mom's over there. I've seen 4 accidents on that one corner.
Because they're trying to hit that right.
But then guys, we need to study that for
But the person's house. And
That's what I'm saying.
it looks like they're not even fixed, but you just right on to their fence.
Can we request a study that part?
Is it?
No, there is a traffic.
Yeah.
What everybody else is that. Yeah, I mean, maybe that's what the solution is. We can make it work, I can see, but just to answer this question about the criteria on the DOT website. DOT website is very, elaborate, it's not very detail oriented. They tell you what all the reasons are. If you have a request, to the starting point, if he's been doing this for like 2 years, did they ever, they usually they're supposed to take a formal letter.
They do.
Stating, yeah, they give you track numbers, they give you track numbers after a study, which in the past took a significantly long time.
Yeah, about 6, 7 months.
Over 3 years. They've gotten a lot better. And the only other thing that I'll say is studies only last for 2 or 3 years, and then they have to re-study. So if somebody else will, that's the website. Yeah.
Hold on, Tony.
So you're asking.
So what I was gonna say,
The website is really good. These are all the choices. The drop down menu.
So let's say you want speed count.
Yeah.
Shouldn't they from the source and then going in and this? Because it's a time, it's confusion. And that's why somebody.
Anything from the vote.
Oh, they did it. Thinking about how it was. Because,
Well, I would imagine, I live over there, there's a lot of complaints about speeding, and you got a big car, a playground, a big Louise playground, and you got a lot of buildings. Exactly.
So.
That's
So. We see that.
All of that is people especially with stop signs and traffic signals. And the federal government just issued new warrants, so you have to have enough pedestrians crossing the street in order to meet the warrant for a stop sign. And the federal government lowered those thresholds so that seniors and school children are prioritized more because they cross the streets slower. So there's the threshold dropped a little bit, but it has to meet those warrants. So you might see somebody from the DOT sitting out in their car counting the number of pedestrians if you have to do it in order to justify the signal. And
You get to the map just so that they can see.
yeah,
Because the map is actually important because before you see one class, before you go on to the class, it'll tell you all of the requests. So they give you an aggregate, like a map of the district, of all the requests that are in the district where they're at.
East, man, calling that, right?
is that it?
No,
Was it?
we know that is different, it's on the west side. On
So what's across from the east?
238.
But when you get to this point and you're making the request for a speed hump, it's gonna ask you a series of questions. And then you say yes or no to this.
So check this out. Request name.
Says resolve.
That's how it goes. So you want that, right? That's a stop sign. So
Motion.
How many are there?
Two.
There's two. But if you zoom out, you'll see other requests.
yeah, but it only goes to this circle, but you get the point.
They just put a stop sign on Avenue, and 238th Street, right there. That's now a 4-way stop. But there's a school right there.
Yes. Because all of a sudden I was like, it just popped up.
Yeah, it just popped up.
Is this the lighthouse?
Everything.
Yeah. Any request that you make, you don't have to.
That's specific.
Yeah. I said that the drop down menu is pretty impressive. But should you know that if we think what does there,
Let's get to Tali's. All right, we're gonna get to Tali's question. Tali?
yes, thank you. The question that I had was back when Luke was talking, and I received 3 calls today from PTA and Eden Wall Library. They were talking about, right on 233rd by Seton Falls Park and Baychester, where the schools are, where the library is. And there's a lot of trucks parked there. So they said that there has been a couple of people coming out, a couple of men coming out, making lewd motions at different students coming by, and they're worried about, little girls and boys walking down that street. But they said all of a sudden there are a lot of more trucks parked over there. So 233rd.
No, go back.
Yeah.
Stay on Baychester. It's on Baychester.
Baychester, 233rd. Going down. Going down
No,
233rd.
not here. No,
Right.
yeah, right here, yes. Yes.
Go toward the library.
There's one without wheels.
Yeah, correct.
Keep going toward the library. No, you're going the wrong way. 233rd Street. It's 233rd, Seton Falls Park.
RVs.
Right. So there's been evidently a couple of men. There's been a couple of men that are coming out and
Tony,
themselves.
Tony, we can't hear you. Speak louder.
There have been a couple of men coming out exposing themselves over in that area, right by the library, right by 112, 142, Sousa, Cardinal Spellman, that area right around there.
That's the library.
That's the library.
This is an issue that comes up where it goes to the meeting.
For some council. Yeah.
Spoke earlier about street design, streetscapes as a sort of solution. But the reality is that they're not solving vehicles, they're not issuing funds, and they therefore, so I think you do it. The other reality, so rating budget consultation. We had budget consultations in October, September, October. And where we meet with, that's one of my responsibilities, we meet with the agency, we have a conversation. This is not just happening in 12. This is happening on Boulevard.
Co-op City.
Yeah.
Co-op City.
So,
My business is show hire private company. And once I told, when I put a sticker on, let the private company to, all I have certain amount of days to claim their cost, or else it's auction off and run a revenue rate for the city. I mean, but the code I'm talking about is like, they have police down there, safety bands.
I'll listen to the way DLT had an answer. We met with the commission here in the Bronx, and in Florida. And we kind of sounded like a little bit of restriction about that. Give credit. Which is if you do redesign this was the problem that we have. The LYP, which is by the bus depot and by the parts of that, got rid of all the campus. So what happened? Trucks started all the on that, and now it's right off the highway. Right off the parts. Yeah, and so yeah, that's my idea. So basically, you just move from one part of another part of the community. The way the LIP answered the question was, it's a question of resources and space. They don't have the space to totally be able to.
That's what I was about to say. They throw that off. There's no place. When you say a private company, I've spoken to some private companies, and unfortunately, they say we don't have the space. So it's a space issue all over, and these guys get to take, just take advantage.
But it's not happening.
No, nothing. That's true, but there's no. But the Bronx streets are much bigger than Manhattan and the areas.
There are federal requirements, but once they meet that, regardless of where they are, they stop and, so the city council has to deal with this, put a bill in, it's an official bill that each borough is now going to provide a location for truck parks. There's no resources for that particular bill for unfunded mandate, but that's where we are. It is now the city's responsibility to find a location where they can park, so they have rest. There's no rest plans. You can Google it, but there's no rest stops. For Manhattan or any of these five boroughs.
Is that planning for strategic and monthly costs? Is that private?
It's gonna be a.
All right, guys, we're gonna take this to committee. And we'll continue the conversation there. Any other questions before we wrap up?
I just have one more point. I would really like a mechanism to get to know our new board members.
They're gonna be introduced to that.
Okay, can we do something cheap and cheerful, like 10 cards?
What do you mean, cards? Like,
Oh.
We have,
yeah, for everybody.
yeah.
Right, and lots of show names, and then we can greet them by name. Because I mean,
One of those, my name is.
No, but at the front, they come with like the cards like that.
Oh, no, yeah, we bought those. I can show you.
Thank you. I think you're right.
I
Yeah.
mean, not maybe like the those.
Thank you for being here. We appreciate it. Yeah, but John Isaac is training the board meeting on Thursday. I'll be joining virtually. I have to be at a state conference for work, but he's going to be introducing board members officially. So please be here.
We didn't get to do that the last meeting. We welcomed you all, but we didn't get to introduce you formally. Okay, so that will happen on Thursday.
Okay, any other matters before?
Did you see? There was a moment.
That's all.
Oh.
Okay, motion to close. Thank you. We're closing our meeting at 8:05. Everybody reminds you, Thursday in person, full board meeting. John is going to be chairing. Both Nick and I are going to be awake. Thank you.